actually talking to Omar a little bit about this. You just sort of pick up things along the way, and sometimes you don't realize what you're learning that might have absolutely nothing to do with the next phase,
right? But
you take away those things, and what positive things that you can pick up, and what prepares you for those things. We were talking about me and football and the differences between, what I learned playing and how much I apply that stuff to here today.
Yeah. It's true. That's where he was coming from. The same thing. You can wherever you learn in different steps, you can use it somewhere else. And same thing with work, like even Derby, the same thing. I saw it the same way. Yeah. I learned what I learned in football. It was the same direction you're going, but if you're a blocker, you're doing two jobs at once, helping your jammer, and then you're also blocking, so you're stopping the opposing jammer as well. But if you're a jammer, you're going through like a running back.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you're just fast, and it's only like 2 minutes.
So tell me a little bit more about, we've talked about it in the past, but how did you get into that in the first place?
So I was at a point in my life where I was working out and doing stuff, but I wanted something more. I wanted to find a challenge, and I wanted something I can get in shape and be able to do other things, meet other people and stuff. So I found a team online back when MySpace days existed. I found a team that was local, and I was like, all right, I reached out to them, and then they said, yeah, come in for a practice. And I went for a practice in the middle of winter, and we went from there. I learned, they teach me how to skate. They taught me how to ref. I was thrown in the first season, to be a head ref. Wow. I was like, this is way too early, but I took the challenge and I did it. And then 2 years later, they taught me how to skate, from going on inlines to quads, which was not too bad. It was a pretty easy way to, go through from there to learning on four wheels. But I did it, and I made some accomplishments, and I passed my requirements that I needed to make the team, and I made the team and went from there. And then kept learning every day. We had 3 practices a week besides work. and it was just exciting. I still reffed on the side, but it showed me how to become a leader, as a captain on a team for a while. And it showed me, it was another world, and you're working amongst other people from they're doing different jobs, regular life stuff. And then they're coming there, and we're all in one. We're all doing the same thing. We love the same thing. We're not getting paid to do it. Right. And it gives you exercise, and it clears your mind, and you're also you can make friends, and you can also make a family out of it. Yeah. So nothing other. And and games could be anywhere in the country or in the world. Yeah. I went from skating, in tournaments, or even in a church parking lot where we skated for the longest time and had blasts and had a lot of fun and did everything outdoors, to where I'm skating in South America and Peru at a big game. And it was just an amazing experience. I'll never forget that. That's what that sport showed me. And it took me to newer heights. I even made it to Team Connecticut. I went to the pro circuit for like a year and tried that out, and that was the top level. And I made it, and I was there for at least a year, and then I was like, all right, what do I want to do now? Do I want to ref, or do I want to coach? And that's where I stand right now. How long were you doing it for? I was doing it for about 8 years. Wow. Did you ever get hurt? I got some minor bruising and stuff like that, but nothing. Luckily, no injuries. We always had paramedics around whenever we needed them. So yeah. But it was a lot of fun. I always recommend, hey, if you're going to do something try roller derby. If you're really interested, get involved. And it's any age. I had a guy on my team that was 60, and he was doing Spartan races and all that stuff. And he was awesome. Loved it. He was our announcer, and then he tried skating, and he had a blast doing it. So we have a lot of fun. Do you miss it? I do miss it, but now in my life now, I'm ready to go back to work and the grind and try to build on that and with my career and everything, and just do other things like, family, traveling, going to checking out different states, historical places that I want to check out. So I like that. That's what I enjoy doing, and going to rock concerts. I've actually been going to my 6th one coming up at the end of the month. Really? Yeah. Who are you going to see? I'm going to go see Five Finger Death Punch, Megadeth, So I've never seen Megadeth, and they've been around for years.
Yeah.
They sell at stadiums and festivals, and so I'm really excited to see that show. And it's in Hershey Park, so
that's cool.
Takes me to different places. Yeah, it's cool to see some of these people up close and be like, wow, that was an awesome show. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and it's really cool, and I get to do it with friends and family as well.
So Hershey, you're a history buff. So there's a lot of historical stuff out there. Will you visit any sites or do anything while you're out there?
Yeah, I might see the museum, check out the museum where Martin Hershey started and how he started his business and everything, and where it is today. And I'm going to probably check that out. I might check out the zoo, the local zoo that's there. I might check out the park if I decide to change up everything, go to the park instead. But mainly, I'm just there for the show.
That's cool. I mean, I love concerts. In fact, I was talking earlier about I took my son to his first concert at his request. He wanted to see Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome band.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun. Yeah. Fortunately, there was a little bit of a mishap with the tickets, and we didn't have the seats that we were supposed to be in. And he's, being 11, he's still small, and I tried to get him unobstructed view kind of seats. But yeah, they sounded great. The show was great. And we had a lot of fun. So.
Amazing band. There's so many good bands out there, different genres, whatever you're into. I mean, there's festivals that you can go see. If you're willing to go for 3 days straight, you can see all the bands in one weekend.
Yeah.
It depends on who's headlining and who's there and stuff like that. But I mean, there's so much. There's even like a Christian rock festival that they do every year too, up north. And now they moved it to Massachusetts. That's pretty cool. And they're bands like Skillet and all these other big Christian rock bands and regular singers that go there, and it's just an awesome weekend from what I've seen online. But and there's other rock festivals too that I've been wanting to still check out, like that are in other states. So, but it's a lot of fun. It's so much, and everybody's there for the same reason. It's cool. Unless you want to get up close and you can mosh if you're into that, but if not, I mean, you could still have an awesome experience.
Yeah, the mosh pit for Rage Against the Machine was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a lot. It can be a lot of fun. I've once had a mosh pit push me up to the front of the stage, and I was loving every minute of it because I was a hand away from the favorite singer in a band, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome! Thank you so much." But it was a lot of fun.
Have you always been into music?
I have. I was in band back in the day when I was in middle school. I played the saxophone, but I've always liked trying to learn how to play guitar. So I'm still debating on that right now. Maybe look into buying a bass guitar for the first time or an acoustic, and just try that because it's a big challenge and it takes a long time to learn. But if I have the right people to train me, then I can. I'll take it up. So,
yeah. No, but music. I love music, and I don't have the ability to play any instruments, so I don't have that outlet, but I do. It is something that I'm always getting into new bands, trying to learn new things. And I wish that I had learned an instrument as a kid, because I feel like it would be more a part of my life if I could, but
I mean, hey, it's never too late to learn. You're
true.
Always learning. You're always trying something new. That's why I'm doing what I've been doing, and it's just it's a new challenge and something new to try. Try. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, then I know I'll try something else.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't feel like I'll be in a rock band, but at least I can try to have fun with it on the side.
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you've been up to here at Triangle and some of the things that maybe you're looking forward to getting into or involved with. Okay,
well, I'm in building 116, which is one of the original buildings in the company. Yep. So I'm very highly like, wow, this is awesome. It's cool. This is where it all started. So I've been working on the press fits. I've been working on jam nuts, and I've taught me how to do the laser. So and now they just taught me how to sandblast as well. So I'm doing all these different avenues and everything that shows the stages of that part and where it goes and how you follow it. And I've been blessed that they've let me do all that and trained me how to do all that. And if they say, hey, I need you here today, okay, no problem, I'll just go do it. And it's nice. And a lot of it does get challenging. So I always try to set the bar, and my bar is higher than your bar. So it's like, I try to make and hit that mark if I can, and if not, I'll try the next day and keep doing it and so on. And I usually see from where I started to where I'm at now, the training was amazing and beyond my expectations. I mean, I got to say the people you have here working here are amazing trainers, like especially ones that have been around for 30 something years, 40 something years.
Yeah.
There's always something to learn from them. And then they'll stop and they'll be like, okay, I'll come over and help you. And then they'd show me, even if it's something simple, and then I'll write it down or I'll remember it. And then I'm all of a sudden, like a week or a couple of days later, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing thing.
It is definitely one of the things that we value here quite a bit, is that teamwork, the camaraderie, the family values, so to speak. And I'm glad to hear that you're getting that kind of support, because optimistically you're being taught things that you'll be able to continue to build off of, and that's what it's all about. Career advancement and being able to do new things.
Yeah. I mean, once I succeed my goals at those stages, then they'll tell me when it's time for me to move on. And that's what they want me to do. And I've been told that by certain people, like managers, or even guys have been there, like, once you learn this and you can do this and comfortably, then we'll move you along. And that's what they've been doing. And I'm like, every day it's something new. I could be thrown here or I could be thrown there. And I'm happy with, I was like, yes, no problem. I'll just go do it. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll do the best of my ability. So
yeah, and the more diverse more diverse skill set you are, the more valuable you are.
Correct.
When I was playing football, I had a linebacker that I was playing with at the time who said to me, "Dax, learn every single position you possibly can, because if you can play one, you can play two, you can play three. If you can play three, you're much more valuable to them, and you're more likely to stick around if you can play multiple positions." So learning that diversity, that skill set, like you're saying, it makes you more valuable. That's
a very true statement. Even I learned that in Derby. It happened to me in Derby. So if you could be good at one position, but they want you to learn every position. Like you could be a pivot, you can be a blocker, so you can be on the same track at the same time and just constantly move and rotate. Like there was a game in Virginia. We only had 5 skaters against 12, 13. And they kept rotating their team, but we just kept staying. We stayed on the track the whole time.
Wow.
And ended up winning the game in the end.
Wow.
All because of conditioning that we did all year round, and also because we could just move around different positions.
How long does the game last?
60 minutes. It's about an hour.
So you must have been exhausted when you were done.
It was a rough one, but I mean, it was a challenge, but it was rough. But because of all the conditioning we do all year round before the season starts, it pays off. And if you learn, like you said, if you learn every position, you're more valuable.
And the other thing too that I found is that if you know the other positions and you know what impact your position has on that other position, it helps you to understand what you're trying to do collectively as a unit. Right?
Very true. Yes, you're all working in unison to do maybe the same. Get this in this example. You could take one part from a solid to all the way to where it's actually the part itself, and everybody's working together to get that done in different stages. We're all working, and if one stops, then it's hard. The other one can't move on.
Exactly. Yeah. So career aspirations, you're learning a lot. You're getting exposed to a lot of different things. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I could see myself doing some really challenging jobs that require more attention, and that'll challenge me every day. I see myself also, helping others in training as well. I was a trainer even at my last job I was at. I worked for a chemical company for about 5 years, and I learned from packaging to making the product to driving a forklift and moving product around, and from where it was made to storage, also running blenders. And I would be each job that I learned, I was able to train other associates that were coming in the door and showing them this is, and I would work from them and be very patient with them as well and show them that this is how it is. And I wouldn't beat it around the bush. I would just tell them flat out, this is how it is. This is what they expect from you, but we're going to take our time. We're going to get it to where you're comfortable. I work with them, not against them.
Yeah.
And that's the way, and they see that. A lot of people see that, and then they're like, oh, that's awesome, cool. And then they come to me, and they'll come to me even after I've trained them, and they'll come to me and say, hey, I need help, da da da. All right, no problem, I'll train you, whatever you need, I'll help you out. I'm always available.
I definitely could see that being a characteristic that you carry. Being a good trainer and being patient and being being willing to work with people until they get it and understand it. And yeah, that definitely is something that I could see you doing a lot of going forward.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, I got to say that the structure you have here is one of the best I've ever seen anywhere that I've ever worked. Wow. I don't know, you guys set the bar, you set the tone, the fist is down. This is what we expect from you. This is what we want. And it's just like amazing. Like, it's so much freedom. You give us the resources that we need. And I mean, the training that's involved and the respect and the culture and the atmosphere, everything is just amazing. It's a breath of fresh air. Mm. It's nice that we can work in an environment like that and all get along and all have a good time and while we're working and make it fun instead of like, oh, I have to go to work today. I don't want to do that, you know? But I love it. I have to. My hats are off to you.
Oh, thank you for saying.
You deserve a lot more for that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you saying so, and I didn't even pay you to say it.
No, I'm serious. It's nice to come to work every day, and then you want to come to work every day, and you look forward to it. A lot of people don't. They work in a job, a dead end job, and they don't want to. They're tired and done, and they don't want to do it. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I got to go to work. You know. Now it's not. Now it's not about just the money. It's about doing other things besides getting paid to do it. But you can love what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the products that we make are helping people, which is another nice thing, right?
Correct. Yes.
You know, keeping people healthy.
Yeah, you take pride in what you do. You know, you want to see work from the start to finish, and you take pride in every part you can. I mean, there's times where you run to an issue and you try to solve it, which is cool. You could solve it right then and there and stop it. And then you have times where you can reject a part and go over an analysis and talk to engineers and say, okay, what happened here? What can we do to fix this? What type of issue is this? And if we have to scrap it, we have to scrap it. But I look at it that way: is if we scrap one, you save all. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at it. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So where do you get some of these? You clearly have had influences in your life that make you into the person that you are, and it comes across that you feel very passionately about things. Who were some of your influences?
Influences, I would have to say, is my number one is my grandfather. He was there since birth, and he was loved every minute. I've seen pictures in the past and how much he really, really cared for me and spoiled me and everything like that as growing up. And then I got to the point where I was old enough to understand things as a teenager, and I would spend the summers with him. Mm-hmm. And even when I was younger, doing stuff with him. If he mowed the grass, I'm going to mow the grass with my little push mower. You know, like if he taught me how to ride a bike. He comes from a background where old school, where he was ex-military. He was a VMI cadet. Served in Korea, served with fighter pilots, and did his thing over there. And then he came out and became a mason. I mean, he's building giant hotels, giant firehouses, compared to like buildings that are all made of brick. Yeah. And doing that hard work. And then as I was growing up and working with him, I can still see that in him. Like, you eat everything off your plate, you do this, you do that. But he had so much fun with me. I made his year by just going to see him and hanging out with him. Mm-hmm. People would tell me, his cooking was amazing. But he would rather go out with me and take me out and do things with me, and everywhere we wanted to go. Oh, I'm gonna take you here. I'm gonna take you there. Okay, thank you, Grandpa. You know, I mean, he took me around the world as a teenager. Took me all over different countries, cruising around the Caribbean or something like that. You know, he really showed me the world as a young kid, and I was like, wow. And I really took everything in too. So I thanked him for that. And then, you know, as he got older and as I was getting older, I mean, you know, it was towards the end where he was sick and everything, and it bothered me, but I was there to see him. Something told me inside that go see him, hang out with him, you know, and spend time as much as you can. And there was times where I got to the point, one time we went out to eat and he was eating and he tried to give me his food. And I'm like, no. My turn. You're not going to leave until you eat everything off your plate. And I even told that to the waitress. So he had that mentality, but he really showed me a lot and helped me grow up a lot quicker in life. Yeah. So I thanked him. He's one. Patrick Swayze was another. Mm-hmm. I mean, that man, everybody adores that man. Women flock to that man. But I mean, he lived his life. He almost had a football career, got hurt, but then he got into dancing, and which was his family's background. But he also wanted to be tough as well. And he wanted to take challenges head on. Like, For example, like he was in the movie Point Break. He decided to jump out of planes when they told him not to, so he can get certain shots in movies that were real instead of being fake. I mean, in the movie Roadhouse, when he got into that big fight with the opposite actor that was actually an ex-Navy SEAL and a martial artist, and they got to, who knows if that was actually a real fight. Some say it was. And then he still took a beating, from what I heard in interviews, that he took a beating and then wanted to do another.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was pretty badass.
Right. I mean, especially in the movie The Outsiders, that was one of my favorite movies that he was in. And then he, from going to action to going to drama, and people say, oh, you can't do that. You don't want to be typecasted. Nah, he did it. And he actually helped other actors get into those movies, because that's what he demanded, and he did it to the fullest. Yeah. I mean, even Dirty Dancing, he jumped off the stage once, and that was it. His knee was gone. But he did it to the 100% and above, beyond. But he was just an amazing person, and he was married for, I don't know to his wife for like 30-something years until he died. It's sad, but I mean, just a true inspiration. If anybody out there has time to read his book, or watch his documentary on Paramount. So just an amazing, somebody I look up to. Yeah, absolutely. And so,
it was funny just getting back to your grandfather for a second, because there over your left shoulder is a picture of my grandfather that I happened to notice as you were telling your story, and it's a picture of him working, and also my military. He was a Marine, served in World War II.
Awesome.
Learned a lot of the same sort of characteristics and traits that you were describing, as far as just how you go about doing certain things. I can remember being here and seeing him on the shop floor and how he interacted with people, and had an expectation that things were going to be done a certain way, and they were going to be done the right way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of parallels for me as you were telling your story about your grandfather, as far as somebody who inspired me, and the fact that I am representing the third generation here now, and carrying on that legacy is something that I will never take for granted. It's probably one of the biggest challenges that I've ever taken on, but it's also been one of the most rewarding.
That's awesome. Thank you. I thank you for that. I appreciate that. That's cool. Yeah, not everybody does that, but if they can, it's nice to see a company that's constantly going.
Yeah, and we are. I mean, we are growing. We've invested more in the last year than we ever have before. We are continuing to push the envelope and try and develop new clients, take on new business, and create new opportunities for people.
I love that, and it's cool. I mean, I've seen some companies do things, and I've seen some companies not do things, but like, it's nice that you can see it here. Like, you spend money to make money, but that's not the main plan. But it's nice that you can invest in other machines or new high-tech equipment and bring it in and try it, and if it's going to help with the job, and let's go and see what it does. See if it helps us, and if not, we'll go to another game plan and try something else.
And that's one of the things that's nice about being a privately held company still, is that we can make those investments, even if it's maybe not the best decision in the short term from a financial perspective. In the long run, you can make that investment, whereas a lot of publicly traded companies have to be concerned about, okay, well, we've got to make the quarter numbers, and we got to hold off on this investment until a year from now, where we can make short-term decisions that we believe are in the long-term best interest of the business, and we do quite a bit.
Awesome. Yeah, I see that. It really pays off.
Yeah. So, you have any questions for me?
All right. Tell me a little bit about your football career. I definitely thought. Hey, I don't see every day that your CEO was in the NFL. I mean, there are NFL players that retired and found no business because they went to college, they got a degree, so now they can actually do what they wanted to do besides playing football.
So football for me was just something that I was always very passionate about, and was fortunate enough to get a Division I scholarship, went to Rutgers, and then had the opportunity to be signed as a free agent by the Jets.
That's awesome. Go Jets.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't make the team my first year, but they signed me back at the end of the season and allocated me to NFL Europe, which was a great experience. I got to go live in Berlin for basically the better part of 3.5 or 4 months.
Wow.
We won the championship while I was over there,
That's
which was
awesome.
really cool.
That is awesome.
So that was something that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And then I came back and I had made the team, but like I'm released the first week of the season. I got picked up by Philadelphia.
Awesome.
I spent the entire season on their practice squad. Then I got released from there. Then I went up to Canada and played in the CFL for a couple of weeks before I ruptured my Achilles, and that was the beginning of the end of my football career. But I don't look back on it with any real regret because that path brought me here. I always said growing up, because I would work summers, that I never wanted to work in the family business, and when I really had no choice because I didn't have a job and I had bills to pay.
Yeah.
It led me here, and I've been here ever since. And it certainly changed my life, but it changed it in a lot of ways that are absolutely so incredibly positive and rewarding. I probably wouldn't have met my wife if I didn't come back. So
yeah, it's awesome.
Obviously my wife and my kids are everything to me. So it's just where life leads you.
Right. And that's the thing. You have one door closes, another one opens, or another chapter closes, another one starts. That's the way, you just go with the flow, live life to the fullest. And that's pretty much, you just, wherever it's going to take you, it's going to take you. And then you just got to go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a great perspective. I mean, and then hopefully we're all just living our lives to the fullest and doing the best job that we can here together as a team collectively, and then whatever else we decide to do in life, right?
I agree. I definitely agree. And I always tell people, like, try something, that you're not used to doing, or challenge yourself. Do things that you don't think you can do, but now you did it, and it's, like even skydiving. If you want to try living on the edge a little bit, go skydiving or parasailing, or even zip lining off a giant mountain somewhere. There's so many recreational sports you can do out there, and there's so much to live and see and do. Yeah, this country's it's a big world out there.
There's the Patrick Swayze and
that. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you taking the time with me. So thank you very much, Chris.
No problem. Anytime.